矿 are, ladies and gentlemen. In the bottom right-hand side to start us off, this IEM Katowice 2020 qualifying match, the Red Terran is Maru. Up against the Blue Protoss top left-hand side, Trap. This best of 5 starts on Nightshade. So I was just saying, these guys have played a few times this year, a couple best of 1s. It is a 7-5 advantage to Trap. You know, Maru first played him in the IEM Katowice, where he actually lost 0-2. Then he won 4-0 in GSL semifinals in Season 1. And then, of course, in the Season 3 semifinals of GSL, Trap won that 4-1 before advancing to lose in the finals for a second season in a row. And then a couple of other maps here and there and some of the other Korean events that have been going on. And that's kind of it. Remember, these guys are teammates, so whenever you see these guys play, sometimes there's a lot of kind of hidden mind games that you don't really know about. Because it's very hard to pick up on every single one of those mind games when you don't know what's happened in all those practice games they play against each other, when they help each other prepare for events and so on and so forth. So we'll see if anything weird and kind of unorthodox happens, because if it does, we could maybe start pointing towards that, being like, oh, maybe Maru usually expects this, and so Trap is making it look like that, but then doing something different. So that's always something to keep in mind when two teammates play against each other, especially players like Maru and Trap. When they've been in the same team house for so long, you know, they've been teammates for a very long time. They're both extremely successful. There is no way these guys haven't been playing against each other a bunch this year in practice matches. You know, especially in a year where SOS has been pretty lackluster in results. You know, what has SOS done in 2019? You know, I try and think of SOS in 2019. He just hasn't been the player we'd expect him to be. He's not been winning $100,000 tournaments or anything along those lines. So, really, I think for Maru, Trap has probably been his kind of go-to PvT practice partner a lot of the time. Again, makes series like this one where they do clash that much more interesting, as we do see the Reaper going to head up to the top left-hand side. The first game of this on Nightshade, nice large map to get us started. As you will see, a grenade popping, the probe over to the side, and the Adept Shade in there is going to be able to pick off the Reaper. So the Reaper will go down. Meanwhile, this first sentry from Trap already on the way out, and there's an Adept shading out from Trap into the center of the map as well. So first Adept already moving down to the bottom right-hand side. The bunker setting up, the command center about to finish. Twilight Council on the way from Trap in the main base, and that Twilight Council, well, it's a Stalker after the Adept and a Sentry, so it looks like we're just going to go straight in towards Blink here. Not really too many questions to be asked. The Sentry, maybe a hallucination here early, we shall see. Try and pick up some extra information, as we do have the initial Hellion building a Starport 2. With the bunker up this early, there's not really a lot that Trap can do to harass and slow this down. With just the one Hellion and then probably into Widow Mines, right? If the bunker's up, you don't need multiple Hellions or anything like that. So a couple of Widow Mines, Medevac to drop, and that'll be Maru's way of kind of continuing to scout here early on, especially as his Reaper has fallen. The Reaper goes down. And that's the Reaper going down without the scout on the Twilight, as the Hellion will try and run by and might get up into that main. There's the hallucination we talked about obviously coming across as well. So a lot of this just early game scouting and trying to figure out what's going on. And, well, Maru is going to chase for a probe kill, and he'll get one and he will get two. So that's two probes early for Maru, plus the scout on the Twilight. That's a nice single Hellion. So that's obviously a fake Oracle. Maru sees that now. Obviously he knew that a few moments ago when he realized that this was a Twilight, but still nice to deny, you know, it as soon as possible. Deny further info, doesn't see the second Rax timing, etc. Doesn't get to see, you know, because it's very possible that this becomes a tech lab and maybe you go in towards like some sort of a, you know, faster kind of 1-1-1 play versus what is happening, which is the faster kind of bio switch into Stimpack already. So again, just trying to deny as much information as possible there, as we do see this Medevac from Maru boosting across all the way over to the left-hand side. Probably going to try and hit into this natural expansion in the next little while. So we go to Widow Mines, will drop down. What's Trap's response to this? Best PvT player in the world, can't go losing more than one probe per Widow Mine, so no surprises there. And Maru will save one of the Widow Mines, the other one killed off by the unit count, so I'd say not bad for Maru, right? Whenever you keep this Medevac alive, it's kind of looking okay for you. He doesn't really need to rescout the main because he saw the Twilight Council with the Hellions, so he's not in any rush to go back in there. What he has actually seen is the other tech choices in the natural. So because the Widowmine came dropping into the natural, he gets this Scout, Forge in the Robo Bay. So he sees that Trap is immediately just opting to go in towards the Colossus style. So Maru immediately knows what is up. He knows exactly what Trap wants to head in toward here. And that's a really good read for Maru. It's a really nice scout across the map. It's some early information you can pick up on as this Robotics Bay is going to be completing in the next few moments. A few Stalkers hopping up from Trap up into the main base as Marines. And a Marauder pressing forwards. You're going to be seeing the first Stalker has to blink down. A couple more Stalkers blinking down as well. Trap's army just out through the bottom side of the map then. Escaping away. Obviously Maru with good unit positioning in that main base, able to get into position very quickly, defend, not really allow too much to happen as Trap just goes to 3 bases overall. And Maru not shown us 3 bases yet. He's likely to go on this Stim Combat +1 timing and expand behind that. If this was going to be 2 base, we probably already see a 4th and a 5th racks coming down, so probably just an expansion behind this. And go from there, and then obviously as Colossus come up, the question becomes, what does he opt to do with that, against that Colossus play? Widowmine is back, and that's gonna go for the Stalker. Swapped targets a couple times, just trying to deny mining as long as possible. Man, Trap is so fast to get back there as soon as you know what's going off. Stalker is a more valuable target. Ooh, those Stalkers are gonna miss the Medevac escaping. Medevac will go and reinforce the Bio Army. This is a scary moment actually for Trap because the Raven can obviously kill the one, or disable the one Colossus, which is obviously one of the big parts of your defense here. If Maru goes towards the 3rd base, then Trap actually has to attack down a ramp into a more open area as well, which means the force fields are not as useful. Maru will stim, forces the Stalkers back, kills the shield battery. He actually drops the auto turret into the natural, so he's going to force the Raven to... He's going to just kind of get some damage done with the Raven rather than going for the Matrix. For a moment, it felt like he might be able to get the Nexus. He took the shields off it pretty quickly. He's now going to boost and leave. A couple of force fields coming down to try and trap those units there. Man, this is 8 probes killed, and now another auto turret. He's going to kill a Stalker there, and he's going to get another probe or 2. Good target fire on the lower health probe, get that killed off a bit faster. Wow, Maru kills 12 workers overall. Still has to try and get away with these units, though. The Stalkers do have blink, but there's not going to be a way to get close enough to actually kill those Medevacs off. And for the moment, that will be that with the charge upgrade. Really not too far from finishing, so that will obviously help Trap's gateway units here. Getting that charge up does a lot. Look at Maru, though, going to keep on going with the Widowmine aggression. So already a Medevac going over there. This Widowmine goes off, some good splash, and the sentries brought a little bit low. Maru has got that 3rd CC that he built in location, now coming into an orbital, so his economy is looking good with the 12 workers he killed. And now let's see what he does in the natural expansion. Widowmine is dropping, and Trap will respond, but there's a few Widowmines not pulling away. He kills off a couple of the gateway units, and Unburrows and Reburrows there again, trying to keep those probes away as long as possible. That's a shame. Obviously, if you target the Stalker, though, it blinks away, so it's not really a good target. So yeah, I guess the probe... Just a shame he went off on the probe that was in the assimilator, because then you don't actually get the kill. But now Maru drops in towards the natural, some Marauders, so the Stalker defense that's been focusing up over here is going to be immediately in some trouble. Sends a Disruptor in, which is going to go for the 2 Widowmines initially. Those Disruptors coming in after just 2 Colossus, which isn't a lot. Usually you see at least 3, and then Disruptors usually come more when the Terran player starts to build Ghosts, but Trap decided to go into it a bit earlier this time, as Maru is ready to drop elsewhere also. He's already going into the main with these first 2 Medevacs, and now he does, in the end, decide to drop the 3rd base. For a moment, it looked like he was going to go into the main base with those as well, but it hits the 3rd, and now he can lift and maybe get out of there. Maru just playing a really deadly game. Just units all over the place. Boom, drop into the main. Yes, those Medevac units have been lost. He's going to see a recall from Trap. Now he could drop back down to the 3rd base, obviously, but actually a couple of Stalkers here can maybe deny that, but also pushing up the front. Maru's just going to move into the natural. Trap is out of here. GG.